So as you know, I broke my rib and I'm forced to go to work because of the situation. This is an EUC channel, so there'll be lots of EUC references throughout the video. Stick around. I even talked to the doctor about the EUC, but I have an interesting conversation with the doctor and they said I could use the conversation as long as I don't record, like as long as I blur out the video. So it's going to be blurry, but just watch. If you don't want to watch it, just skip ahead to the timestamp if you want to skip the whole thing. But you'll hear the good news about my stomach. And right now we're on the way to the doctors or to the clinic where they're going to do the x-rays. And this is like the day after. So when I broke my rib, I suspected it was broken. And you'll see in the last episode, I already showed you the results. But here I'm just on the way to get the x-ray. And I didn't show you this footage. So if you want to skip ahead too, I'll put the timestamp up. So you can skip straight to where I get to the doctors. Then you can skip that if you want. And there's more interesting stuff to come. But then you can skip that if you want. You can skip the whole video if you want. Skip the whole channel. And in a sec, you're gonna see me have the worst wobbles I've ever had. I've said a lot that wobbles don't matter anymore once you get good at riding. But these wobbles nearly got me. And it was just, ironically, it was just on my way to get an x-ray to confirm a broken rib. And I nearly just, oh man, it was so close. It felt sketchy as, but I managed to save it. Oh, those wobbles give me the shivers. And it was actually from hard braking, that's what caused it. And that's something I've noticed a lot. When you brake hard, that's when you're most likely to get wobbles. Back when I was a beginner, I would get them every time I brake hard on my 16X. And then with time, it just goes away. But on this particular run, I almost got eaten alive by these wobbles. Pretty damn lucky. Otherwise, I would have gone into that x-ray bleeding, perhaps. That would have been interesting. And you gotta love the utility of the EUC. If I came here on a bike or a scooter, what would I do? Park it outside with the cars? Tie it to a freaking concrete pillar? You know? Or just paint it green, orange, and then just park it anywhere. So it looks like one of those public scooters. That's what I would do actually. But with an EUC, you don't have to. You just take a seat and away you go. Anywhere, x-ray, doctor, supermarket, mini market, mega mart. And in case you didn't see it, those are the results, and it's a broken rib. And if anyone's confused, I didn't go to hospital for a broken bone. I went to hospital for a gastric perforation. For this broken rib, all I did was nothing actually. I just got an x-ray just to see. And the treatment is nothing, you just leave it. But now I'm going to speak to that doctor and have that interesting conversation I told you about. And then we'll talk about going to work on my EUC, of course, with a broken rib now. And Murphy's Law. So before we continue, I thought it'd be fun to look at a couple of comments. So this one in particular regarding my broken rib. This guy says, "These people in countries with socialized medicine make me sick. In America, we just walk off an injury like that. Far too expensive to go to the doctor." So I don't know what to say. I think countries with shit medicine make me sick and millions of people sick. So I don't know what you're talking about that makes you sick. Because we've got good medicine. And if you didn't see the last episode, I got in to see a doctor, got booked in for an x-ray, then got to see the doctor again all on the same day for $20. And they forgot to charge me, so it costed nothing. And we're not just going to walk this one off, we're going to work this one off, as you're going to see later in this video. So we do it in Australia, mate. Don't know about Murica, but we've got good doctors. Anyway, the next one, someone tells me that I've got to stop giving out medical advice, and it's not my place to change how people think about possible issues they may encounter. I'm not giving out medical advice, just remember that. Because I've looked into this again and it's actually pretty dangerous what I did. Just reading a couple of things on Google, it says, because a gastrointestinal perforation can be life-threatening, seek emergency care if you notice any of its symptoms. Don't wait to see if it goes away on its own. Can you survive? An intestinal perforation is a major life-threatening condition with high morbidity and mortality that requires emergency surgery. Despite improvements in surgical and medical treatments, the overall mortality rate is 30%, and mortality rate of cases that also have peritonitis is up to 70%. So it's like worse than cancer, basically. But actually, I did treat it through fasting, and block your ears if you don't want a spoiler, because I'm going to tell you what the secret ingredient was that actually healed me up super fast. Antacids. And I kind of did mention it already, but I'll talk about it more. Like, just me saying that doesn't really give away much. Wait for the video where I'll explain it properly. They actually gave me antacids into my veins directly. But yeah, wait for that video. The thing I was saying though is, yeah, I nearly died because I also had that chronic fatigue, and I read that if you have that symptom, it's likely you have peritonitis, which is what raises the mortality up to 70%. 70. That's with surgery, by the way, and treatment. They say if you don't treat it early, the chances are even worse. And one of the biggest dangers is actually infection, because the bacteria in your GI tract gets out and into parts where it shouldn't be. And I didn't take any antibiotics the entire time. I rejected them at the hospital too. And as you saw there, this condition is more dangerous than getting shot in the abdomen with a gun, by a long shot. So please don't play with life and death. Don't take advice from me. Just do what you think is best. Anyway, let's go to the doctor's conversation, and you'll hear the doctor talk about my stomach as well, like getting better.
Single rib fracture can take 4 to 6 weeks though. Are you working?
Yeah,
Are you sitting down?
yeah.
Yes. Are you doing like any laborious work?
Not really.
Because I think if you're just sitting at a desk with not too much movement,
Yeah.
you should be okay.
Yeah, I think I should be
But
alright.
if you're needing to carry anything heavy and stuff, I think you would feel pain at that site for maybe
Yeah.
the next, say, 2 to 4 weeks. What about your, I don't know, what do you call this?
Oh, that's just like a scooter?
Okay, like a single wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah. That looks quite heavy though. Like, are you okay to carry that?
Oh no, it's very, there's no weight to it because you just...
You just push it.
Yeah, like, see, just with one finger.
Oh, right. Were you on that when you fell?
No, I was on rollerblades.
Oh, right.
Yeah, this thing's very safe.
Are these things very safe?
Yeah.
So rollerblades are worse?
I think most things are worse, like even electric scooter, electric skateboard.
It's worse than this one?
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
To
really?
me, this is more safe.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
I've seen people on it, not very often, and I always wonder how you
Yeah.
do it. I've never...
It's very natural. Once you learn, it's like, you
That's
never...
how you get around? That's your transport?
Mostly, yeah. As long...
Are you managing with the pain?
Yeah, the pain is fine. I was just recently in much more pain with a gastric perforation.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
That's why I'm a little bit anemic right now, but I just got better from that, and
Why did you have a perforation? Did you have an ulcer?
I believe so. It was caused by food habits. Like,
Yeah.
I was eating very healthy, and then suddenly I'm eating very bad till I got more sick. And then that's when I realized something's wrong.
So you must have been in the hospital. You would have had surgery.
Yeah. No, I didn't have surgery.
Oh,
I was
you
in the
didn't have-
hospital,
Right.
but I elected not to have surgery and then just recovered more slowly, but
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
How many days were you admitted for?
not very long, because by the time I got there, this was already finishing. I was very sick at home, in a lot of pain. And then
They didn't need to do a scope for you?
I elected not to. They wanted to, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that because I knew I was getting better already. Like, this is already finishing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and so I was in there from like 12th of February till just like 2 or 3 days, I think.
Right.
And I got better just with the antacids,
Mm.
because I think the wound was already healing. And when they gave me antacids and fasting, no food for 3 days, and I just got really healthy like quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, from the X-ray, it doesn't seem to show that. So when we look at the X-ray, like you're sitting up, and you know how the X-ray also has a little bit of your bowels beneath it.
Yeah.
So we look and see whether there's any air trapped in there, and there didn't seem to be. So
Alright.
I don't think it looked like it's a perforation anymore.
Oh, that's
now.
good.
Yeah,
Good
that
to
is
know.
good.
Yeah.
But,
I think
yeah.
it's healed, yeah, because now I can eat anything I want. Before, if I eat like
even just bread, especially orange juice or like
Oh yeah,
acidic,
that's terrible. Yeah.
put me in a lot of pain. Now I can drink like a liter of orange juice and no pain at all. So.
All the others, anti-inflammatories, can be a bit.
Oh
strict on
yeah,
the
I'm not
tummy
even.
as well.
I haven't taken any pain relief since
Oh,
either.
okay.
Like it's 0 pain now.
Okay. Yeah.
Before it was like 10 out of 10 pain. Now it's 0 out of 10. Yeah,
Okay.
it's crazy.
All right. As long as you're doing okay, I think
Yeah.
that's important.
So pretty good news, huh, guys? No more stomach perforation. Bad news on the rib, but to be honest, it's not that bad. I went to work. I want to show you the footage today, and I'm feeling better than ever, guys, to be honest. This injury, I mean, this stomach thing I went through, that intense pain for so long, has changed my outlook. You would have never seen me going to work with a broken rib in the past. I would be the one trying to get out of work with a fake broken rib. I've always hated working these kind of jobs, you know, or just any, you know, 9-to-5 style job. I've always got lots of motivation with like my own projects, but working 9-to-5 style, I've always been super lazy, I guess. And now I'm going to the doctor trying to get back into work with a broken rib. And even with my stomach, like before I was even fully healed from my stomach, I thought I was ready, and I went into work with all this pain. Like, yeah, it's changed my outlook. Something good has happened. Something good has come out of this for sure. And I enjoy it. I love being at work. It's just something I enjoy now. Like, because, you know, you get paid. The time flies. And I wouldn't want to give it up. And I almost lost it, guys. I almost lost the job because of the stomach stuff I went through. Because I had to keep leaving early. And my boss was like, well, it looks like you're not healthy to work, you know? And that's why I have to work on this broken rib now. And it turns out there's lots of lifting to do today. So yeah, it wasn't ideal, but it's alright, guys. Things are gonna be alright. I remember saying when I was going through hell with my stomach, I even said to myself, I wish I had a broken bone. You know, like, because that's the only other pain I can compare it to, is a broken bone. And I just remember wishing that, like, I wish that's all I had was a broken bone. And now I got my wish. So I can go to work with my broken rib. All is good with the universe. And I did say how I was enjoying working, even with a broken rib, but I did kind of mess it up. While I was walking, I walked into the mirror of this ute. That's what we call it in Australia. It's like a pickup truck. Yeah, the side mirror jammed right into my rib. Like, it poked the exact rib that was broken, and it put me in pain again. Like, before that, it wasn't hurting at all. Only when I lift stuff, really. And now since I hit it with that mirror, it hurts in the morning. When I get up, it's like pretty painful. I'm like struggling to get up. It's like a sharp stabbing pain. Nothing like my gut pains I had, but it's pretty annoying. Like, if I didn't hit it, I reckon I'd be fine still. But it's just annoying more than anything, because I could have been good with this, and now I've made it worse, obviously. But I'm still good to work. Because this wasn't what you're watching now is actually 2 days after I broke the rib, and it's the day that I hit it again on the mirror. So the next after this was actually kind of a little bit painful, not too bad. And then Friday, which is the next day, was pretty good. So I had a pretty good day on Friday, and then I've got like 4 days off. So I should be good to heal. But it's like a 4-week injury, they say, at the least. And as Murphy's Law would have it, the day I had to come back to work with a broken rib was the day I had to do the most lifting. Normally I'd be in the workshop most of the time, and today I had to fully load this thing up, and yeah, it's pretty bad timing, but that's Murphy, isn't it? Can't argue with Murphy's Law. As long as I can get back to where I was before I re-injured the rib, I'll be happy, because I was feeling pretty much no pain. And if we can go from there and just keep healing, it'll be perfect. And this is a cool job. I like it because I do driving and stuff in the workshop. So because we mix it up, it makes the time go by faster. If you're doing the same task all day long, it slows down the time. You look at the clock, especially if you're looking at the clock a lot, your day will go by so slowly. I never look at the time. I just work until it's over. It's the fastest way to get through it. But yeah, what I was saying is, because we mix it up, or because I've got like multiple tasks, I've got driving, loading, unloading, and then assembly in the workshop, different parts, different machines. It just makes it more fun, more interesting than doing just one thing all day long. And it was really annoying today because I brought my drone to work and I could never take off because I was always around an airport, mostly the Parafield airport. And this freaking thing won't let me fly if I'm near an airport. It's the most annoying thing. Not even 1 meter in the air. And every job I was doing was near that airport except towards the end. So then I did manage to get some drone footage at the end. Stick around for that. But yeah, that's one annoying thing about this drone. It's like a babysitter. Even not just airports, but some other places it won't let you take off. It restricts your altitude in some places, and it's always restricted to 500 meters tops. With other drones, you don't have all these restrictions. You just fly it as you are, as you wish. And I wish I did get another drone, kind of. This is an excellent drone. It's the DJI Mini 3 Pro, but like I said, it's too restrictive. And there's one thing it's missing, which is super stupid, and that's the feature to record with set paths, right? So you can do a set path. You can be like, okay, go from here to here to here in the sky, if you know what I mean. Like start here, then pan over to here, or like, you know, do a side maneuver, like a tracking camera in the sky. You know what I mean? And it won't let you press record while it's doing that. It only lets you do hyperlapse photography, which means it'll just take a bunch of photos while it's moving, and then you can stitch them together. How stupid is that, isn't it? Because you want to, like, if you can program it to do set maneuvers in the sky while recording, it's like having a cameraman in the sky. It's like the ultimate feature for making videos. It's crazy. Like if you had this 10, 20 years ago, it would have been like a marvel, even for the top, you know, Hollywood and all that shit. It's amazing what it can do, but it can't do it because these idiots have locked you out. Like literally all they need to do is say, okay, let this thing record video. Do you know what I mean? Because the thing is just moving around in the sky and it's got a camera on it. All it's got to do is record while it's moving, and it won't let you. It only lets you do hyperlapse photography in that mode. So yeah, these guys they could be tapping into a whole new market. And that odd scene you just saw just a minute ago, I went to Hungry Jack's, it's like Burger King, just to use their toilet. Didn't get any food. And when I came back out, I saw this car just take off and run over the Hungry Jack's sign, destroy it, then ran through a bush, like over the curb, and then knocked over a bunch of bins. And it was scary. It just looked so violent. So I went down, like started recording just to see what happens next. I was kind of scared because if she took off again, she could have come in my direction. But yeah, that's what she did next. She just like ripped off the front of the car. Pretty weird. But then she left a bin like just behind my car, my ute. So I couldn't, like, it was hard to reverse. I could still get out, but bit of an inconvenience. But anyway, the rest of the video is just going to be finishing off this job, and yeah, next video we do is going to be purely, actually, I don't know guys, it's either going to be on EUCs or I'm going to do the video on this medical stuff once and for all. Like I keep saying I'm going to do that. So if it's not that, it's going to be an EUC video. And if it is that, I guess it's not an EUC video, is it? What is it then? It's a medical video. Not medical advice though, like I said. Don't take medical advice from the guy that nearly died because he didn't want to call an ambulance. But having said that, I don't regret my decisions because that surgery is major and it takes months to recover from that anyway. So yeah, I guess I rolled the dice and came out good. That's all I can say about that. So yeah, let's finish up the video. It's just going to be work from now on. I'll see you in the next one.